At this point in time, if somebody asked me what is the most suitable title for this video, I'd probably say it's the Duchess of Lies. Now, it is not often that we see a woman lie on a global scale quite like Meghan Markle. This narcissistic witch started telling lies from the first day she entered the royal family, and she didn't stop. So today, let's take a look back at her classic lies. And hello, welcome back to the Queen channel. Now, obviously, one of the biggest lies that still, up to this point, has not been resolved is Meghan Markle's moon bump and the truth about who exactly gave birth to Archie and Lily. I would argue that it's natural for people to doubt the legitimacy of Harry and Meghan's children's births. I mean, there's so much speculation about the use of a surrogate, and there are so many inconsistencies surrounding the hospital where they were supposedly born. So perhaps Meghan did use surrogates. Maybe she just pretended that she was pregnant. There are so many photos out there of Meghan Markle's moon bump sliding up and down as she would move around. I mean, it would even deflate and inflate from day to day. I mean, come on, this is a woman who would walk around and even squat while wearing high heels. No wonder many people do not buy this story that she was really pregnant. Personally, I cannot get it out of my head that her own father, Thomas Markle, said that Meghan Markle did have a hysterectomy when she was in her 20s, but she did have eggs frozen before she had the surgery. It was during that whole Dear Daddy letter debacle. He spilled some information, and I've tried to find that interview, but I think it's been scrubbed from the internet. Most people already know this information, though. How on earth could Meghan claim to be pregnant with Archie and Lily, and then continue to claim that she was abused during pregnancy too? So if the truth about this incident comes out, it's going to be one of the biggest scams ever. When the births of the kids are proven to be fraudulent because of surrogacy, both children need to be removed from the line of succession. And about those kids, well, another big fat lie is when Harry and Meghan claimed that the late Queen gave them permission to use the name Lilibet. I mean, they did say the late Queen gave them permission to use her name, but they didn't say it was her special nickname. So I think it's pretty clear what happened. Harry and Meghan asked the Queen if they could name their daughter after her, and she said, well, of course you can, not knowing they were planning to use her private family nickname. Such a low down and dirty way to treat the late Queen, and of course they upset many people with this decision. It really is sad to me that the beautiful Queen had to suffer the loss of two invisible children, the two white children with red hair, while Meghan Markle is 43% Nigerian. It's a miracle. And so, of course, we see Meghan continuing with her lies. I mean, she's probably acknowledged her Maltese origins. I think she did talk about that in the past. But later on, of course, because she needed to make it more clear that she was a victim of racism, she changed her origin. During the Oprah Winfrey interview, of course, Meghan claimed that the royal family was so racist towards her. And obviously, that turned out to be a big fat lie. It did, however, cause some damage to the monarchy and to the reputation of Britain. I mean, honestly, I think the way she accused the royal family of being racist is the worst lie that she has told. And then she just let that lie fester for 2 years without bothering to set the record straight. Now, the legitimacy of racism is based on the fact that Meghan was actually pregnant when she wasn't, so obviously they couldn't have been racist towards her. Meghan also lied that she was discriminated against while she was in Britain, and she accused 2 unnamed royal family members of being racist towards an unborn archofficial by wondering how dark his skin was going to turn out to be when she was pregnant. So clearly, she's just making up lies considering she was never pregnant in the first place. What a horrible woman. Meghan Markle just does everything to try to make herself look like a victim. I mean, she can even change her race. She's like a chameleon. So there's really nothing else she cannot do. And how dare she walk around talking about how she's proud of her heritage? She has done so much to eliminate every single bit of evidence that she really is half black. She is lying to herself and everybody else. Meghan Markle, I don't think, even knows what her heritage really is. I mean, Nigeria is not an ethnicity. Nigeria is a country. Meghan was not born in Nigeria. She's not a Nigerian citizen. She is 100% Californian. Obviously, Meghan does not care one iota about the basis of her lies. It's just a bunch of lies that she tells to really stir up the drama. Many of her lies are actually so absurd, so ridiculous, and obviously made up that honestly, I can't believe that she even bothers telling them. I think one of the biggest lies Meghan ever told was that she didn't know who Prince Harry was. She didn't know who the British royal family was. I mean, come on. There are photos of Meghan Markle out there of when she was younger, standing in front of Buckingham Palace. So what, she just thought that it was a pretty castle made for Disney princesses? I don't know. And she stalked Harry until she met him. That's how she landed this British prince. Even when Harry tried to go to his friend's wedding all by himself, she had to crash it. She's a stalker, and she's dangerous too. It all began with the first lie that Meghan told, that she married Harry because she really loved him, that it had nothing to do with fame or connections or money. Meghan Markle is not capable of truly loving somebody. She's a narcissist. And ever since then, the lies have been relentless. Do you know how you can tell if Meghan Markle is lying? Well, it's when her mouth is moving. She doesn't have a conscience, so she simply doesn't care. She doesn't care about what other people think of her as long as she gets what she wants. It really is a pathetic life that she must live. Harry really should have taken his grandfather's advice to heart. He should have remembered that you step out with actresses, you don't marry them. Now it's too late, though. Meghan's got her claws sunk into him, and I don't think she's going to let go anytime soon. And the thing is, Meghan is not even a good actress. She's not convincing. I mean, she was always playing a role from a script of her own making. I don't care how many fancy clothes Meghan puts on her body. I don't care how much makeup she wears. I don't care how many plastic surgeries she has to try to improve her appearance. On the inside, she is ugly. She's incredibly shallow. She's a fake. She's a fraudster. She's always been that way. She said it herself. Meghan Markle is always looking to climb the next rung on the social ladder, and she'll just step on anybody she needs to on the way up. Meghan Markle has to make up a story to make herself seem as great and wonderful as she wants to be. I think the funniest lie to me that she told was that some member of the cabin crew on an airplane knelt down beside her, took off his hat, and said, "Thank you, ma'am, for all you have done for our country." I mean, it's a really funny one because it's so completely outrageous. Meghan claiming to be a philanthropist, what a joke. I mean, is there any philanthropist out there who only goes to a charity event when she needs some good PR? Or when giving a speech is filled with word salad and really only talking about herself? And then she has the nerve to complain that other people haven't asked her if she's okay while she's standing among a bunch of African women who don't have a pot to piss in. She just thinks she's so special. She believes she deserves everything in life. And I did find it funny when she called the governor's residence in South Africa a housing unit. She knew what she was doing. She whined about Nottingham Cottage being too small and they were bumping their heads on the door frames. But what is essentially a big mansion is called a housing unit in Meghan Markle's language. She should really start keeping a list of her own lies because I'm sure she's also lost track. Or what about the story she told about the people of South Africa dancing in the streets when she married Harry, the same way they did when Nelson Mandela was released from prison? Or what about the story she told about that fire in Archofficial's nursery? I mean, those heaters were in storage or not used for a long time, and typically they do smoke when you turn them on. But again, why was she even turning on the heater? I mean, there was no fire, the room was aired out, and everything was okay. She's just too dumb and too lazy to actually think before she tells these lies. I mean, when she speaks, it is always a lie. She feels like she can do and say whatever she wants to whenever she wants. Honestly, I think the majority of her life has been based upon lies. You could really make a Netflix series based just on Meghan Markle's lies. Or let's remember Meghan Markle claimed that they were married before the actual wedding by the Archbishop in the backyard. That is when I knew that she couldn't help herself. Something was seriously wrong with this woman. She just tells these crazy lies without even thinking about whether or not the lies are going to be believable. It's not only the big lies, there are plenty of little lies too. For example, one time she claimed that she studied French for 8 years, and then she changed the story and decided that she only studied French for 4 years. She claimed that she was Maltese, and now she claims to be Nigerian. She said the palace altered Archie's birth certificate, but only parents are allowed to make changes. And once she said that her dog was too old to travel, but then she changed the story, saying the dog didn't like Harry. And she said she had personal phone calls with the late queen, but of course that was proven to be a lie. With Meghan Markle, the lies are never ending. And remember the claim that Meghan Markle lied about having a car that she couldn't get out of easily. Now, on Ellen, there was a story told, and this person who debunked this lie said that she knew Meghan Markle personally and she knew that story was made up. So the incident that she described on TV was actually somebody else's experience. It didn't even happen to Meghan. And apparently Meghan had a perfectly fine car when she was in college. Another lie is when Meghan claimed that she grew up poor and that all she got to eat were those salad bars at Sizzlers. In fact, she got to go to a lot of fancy private schools that her father paid for. And see, I guess that's why she dumped her family when she had the wedding. She was trying to cover up all her lies, the lies that she started telling right from the start. She does prove what they say, that a lie is like a snowball. It keeps on getting bigger and bigger because she has to lie to cover the first lies. Just one lie is going to require a few more lies to try to explain the first lie, and then even more lies because the second set get proven wrong or questioned. It just goes on and on again. There are also two main kinds of lies. Now, a fib is something small. It's like a white lie, something maybe we'll say to avoid hurting somebody else's feelings or avoid conflict. Usually the motive is innocent. But lies, on the other hand, they're manipulative, they're malicious, they're self-serving, and they do hurt other people. Well, Meghan is a liar. I'm not saying that she's guilty of just telling some white lies or fibs. No, she knows what she's doing. Like most narcissists, Meghan is trying to rewrite history to suit herself. She knows what she's doing when she's lying. She knows that it's not true. But she doesn't feel any shame. She feels no regrets. So for her, lying is incredibly easy. I mean, maybe if Netflix would make a documentary called The Lies of Meghan Markle, maybe then I would renew my subscription and I'd start watching again. I'm sure Netflix has plenty of footage from that infamous mockumentary. I can guarantee you a show like that would do a lot better than a cooking show about Meghan or a polo series about Harry. Netflix needs to reconsider their priorities here, if you ask me. I mean, just imagine all the juice. We would get some really interesting lies, wouldn't we? And the fact that she lies so easily is really disturbing. It seems like Meghan's whole purpose in life is just to trick or mislead other people. I mean, if you listen to her, if you read anything that she produces, then you can be sure it's not based in reality. Even when it comes to her viewpoints or her habits, Meghan still lies. She would always talk about how she would write journals and she wrote everything down. And stories have been leaked to the media that she could use these journals to somehow hurt the royal family. Well, if she writes everything down, why does she get her lies so mixed up? She also made up this story that she wanted to be a working royal. Obviously, that was never part of her plan. Meghan Markle never wanted to be part of a team. And that was clear looking at her behavior before and after the wedding. In another video, I also talked about all the evidence that Meghan Markle planned to leave the royal family immediately after she got her hands on that title. Ever since Meghan entered the scene as Harry's girlfriend, there have been plenty of red flags. But everything started to come out in the open after the interview with Oprah. Now that interview was evil. There was obvious intent to do as much damage as possible. And Oprah was just complicit. And then we got the series, then we got the book, it just went on and on. If there really were problems in the family, and at this point I don't believe it, they really should have worked things out behind closed doors. But that's not what Harry and Meghan wanted to do. Honestly, it seems like they love mudslinging. They love making private family business public. From the beginning, though, Meghan started with the lies, claiming that she had no idea who Harry was, that she had to Google him. Come on, who would believe that? Of course she knew who he was. She plotted and she schemed to get him to marry her, and she succeeded, much to the detriment of the royal family. But it's not only Harry and Meghan's lies and obvious character defects. It's Meghan Markle's overinflated opinion of herself that I find so bothersome. Meghan really believes that she's so smart and she can just trick all of us with her lies. Can you imagine the size of that ego? I mean, Meghan believes that everybody's going to believe her made-up stories just because she's Meghan Markle. She truly believes that she's so amazing that anything she says is going to be believed because, well, she said it in such a wonderful way. I mean, she's just made up so many stories. Of course, we can't trust anything she says or does. Everything is controlled by Meghan, and that just proves that deep down she's really insecure. She's also nasty and spiteful. I wish I could make a PDF bullet point list of all the lies, both little and big, but honestly, I don't have time for all that. I mean, there are so many more instances of Meghan Markle telling lies to try to deceive the public. And let's not forget that she claimed she didn't even know who Prince Andrew was when she ran into him at one of the palaces, after claiming that she and Eugenie had been friends for years. Something about that story doesn't add up. And then another one that I find pretty upsetting is when she starts talking about being a mom, how it's her most important job. She never even talks about those children. She just talks about herself being a mother. Oh, and also she's a wife to that one. I mean, that's why after Meghan Markle starts a bunch of trouble, she just walks away and lets Harry face the consequences alone. Why does Harry allow Meghan to continue to commit all these scams? Seems like Harry believes that he's going to benefit from her lies too. Harry's not much better, though. I mean, Harry claimed that Prince William and Catherine were big fans of Suits and that they loved Meghan on the show. He also said that he never got to ride a bicycle with his father when he was a little boy, but there are photos out there capturing the moments that they rode bicycles together. And he claimed the last gift given to him by his mother, the late Princess Di, was an Xbox when she passed away, or right before that. But Xboxes were not even out yet. Honestly, in some ways, Harry and Meghan really are two peas in a pod. It looks like they just are so lacking in self-awareness, they don't see how they come off. It's like they're addicts. They just have to spin the narrative round and round and round. And the reason that people don't trust them is because of their behavior and because of what they've said. Meghan Markle is an infamous liar, and it seems like she's been lying ever since she learned how to talk. Liars are dangerous people, and narcissists are some of the worst out there. Meghan doesn't even know how to curtsy after she took ballet as a child. That horrible curtsy that she did on the mockumentary, I mean, that really crossed a line for me, and I think most of you too. Such a disgrace. Meghan also claims that she graduated with some type of double major degree, including foreign affairs from Northwestern, but she's not listed as a graduate of anything. She also says that she worked for the embassy, the Argentine embassy, when she was getting her degree, but she was just working for her uncle there, and she never went back to college. She didn't work in the embassy. They couldn't even find the major that she claimed to have studied. I mean, there are so many more lies coming from her. We don't even know what all she's telling privately. And she also lied, claiming that it was Catherine who made her cry. What a slap in the face to act like such a bully and then turn around and pretend that you've been victimized. And it's worrying to me that this woman is still being given platforms to spew her lies. Are there no consequences for somebody like her? Meghan Markle claimed that she wanted to serve other people. Obviously, that was a lie. She claimed that she has empathy and compassion. Again, lies. Now, if Meghan really cared about other people, then she wouldn't be such a liar. I would love to know how these lies even develop, or do they just pop out of her mouth and she doesn't consider them before she says them? It seems like she often forgets what she said in the past, and that's why her stories never add up. They never make sense. Remember, she claimed that she had a miscarriage, and the pain was so awful, and every woman needs time to heal. But a little while later, we learned that she was pregnant with Archie. This woman's logical thinking skills are completely absent. Just too many lies to even document, but I think the ones that hurt other people the most are the accusations of racism, and also the lies about Catherine, Princess of Wales, and the rumors about infidelity that she spread about Prince William. I don't even want to talk about those. Now, the rest just make her look ridiculous and really show how insane she is. I mean, who would waste such an amazing opportunity? I can't lie, though. I can't lie. It is funny to watch Meghan spiraling like this. I mean, she's losing the plot, and so the lies are getting even more absurd. Yesterday, I was watching a video where Meghan was talking about her wedding dress and the flowers that they had embroidered and all that. And she was talking about how excited she was, that she and Harry were so excited to travel all around the world to all the Commonwealth countries. She was excited about all the work that they were going to do. Well, Meghan never wanted to do any of that. She planned to leave the royal family from the very start. And I thought it was kind of amazing, the fact that she could act so smooth in front of the camera. She already had her exit strategy planned, I'm sure. As many have said, Meghan's love for Harry was never real. She just loved what she thought Harry could bring her. A liar like Meghan is also never going to acknowledge what she has done to hurt other people. See, when she hurts somebody, when she pushes things too far, she just leaves them. And I guess Meghan has to have a drama filled life. She has to have that in order to stay interested. So she tells stories that she wants to be true about her life because she knows that at the end of the day, she's pretty boring. She's not all that interesting. She does have quite the imagination. She's kind of like a little girl still. I mean, she just tells all these wild stories, not fully understanding that nobody believes her. It's not cute, though, when it's a grown woman. So I guess a lot of the lying just shows that she's so insecure and she just says this crazy stuff to try to get attention and to try to get sympathy from other people. Or maybe she just says it to feel better about herself. She needs some serious help, though. And I'm not talking about somebody who's just going to tell her what she wants to hear. I'm talking about someone who will help her get her head screwed on straight. So Megan will say something, and then a little while later, she'll tell a totally different version of that same story. It is bizarre to listen to what she says. I mean, there's so much contrasting information out there. I would also say that calling Meghan a liar is not the same thing as the baseless accusations that Harry and Meghan made against the royals. There's plenty of proof out there that Meghan Markle makes stuff up completely. I mean, such a long list of lies, I can't even get to all of them in this video. But I'm sure we all realize Meghan Markle is not to be believed, and maybe eventually she'll just slip away into obscurity. Well, folks, that brings us to the